My dearest brothers and sisters. This is Hakann speaking. I greet you in peace and love. I am happy that I am once again in a position to answer your questions.
Question: how can we increase gray matter in the brain?
Every part of your body gets automatically healed and nourished, once you give your body what it needs and once you remove blocks. We do not suggest specifically trying to increase gray matter in the brain. Instead, we suggest trying to nourish your entire body, which automatically helps out your brain too. We find that Earthlings overvalue the brain anyway. The brain is very useful when it comes to deciding how to execute practical tasks. However, it is quite bad at deciding which tasks to execute. Listening to your soul or to your heart is much more useful for that. On your world there is a great saying, the mind is an excellent servant but a terrible master. We Pleiadians might actually start incorporating this line into our educational material for our children, because we think this is just an excellent way to express it. To nourish your body, it is good to eat and drink well. Our perspective on this is shared in Tunia's message titled, The ET Diet. It is also important to sleep enough and to have enough relaxation time, although I know that this is not always practically possible. It helps to follow your joy and try to do the things that actively give you energy and enjoyment, whenever possible. And humans are a social species, so try to spend time with people who you like, if you have access to such people. That said, if you're exhausted and you just want to watch TV, that can be perfectly fine too. If you simply do not have the energy to go out and do something, then it does not help you to then also feel guilty about that. Don't underestimate how heavy it is just to be on the planet at this time. I would like to invite you to be kind to yourself. Your soul and body are continually communicating with you what they would like. This communication might be temporarily blocked or ignored, but this ability is never lost forever. It is possible to literally ask your soul what you should do, by thinking or saying, "My soul, what should I do today?" Only answers that arise immediately come from your soul. Your soul will answer in your regular inner voice, but the answers will be from your soul. Another thing that bodies need to function optimally is a connection to Source. You may be able to accomplish this simply by thinking or saying, "I would like to connect to Source and to stay connected to Source, in accordance with the highest divine blueprint, now." If you try this and nothing seems to happen, then you might want to just continue to grow spiritually and try saying this again after half a year or so. As for removing blocks, one huge part of this is dealing with mental blocks and mental pain. Tunia's message, How to Heal, can be helpful here. You might also want to let go of people and things that simply no longer benefit you. Sometimes people grow apart and the best thing you can do is to just stop seeing them. If things in your apartment or house no longer spark joy, you can consider getting rid of them. Finally, it is good to reduce stress. One way of doing this is to turn off the mainstream media and also not spend too much time on alternative media.
Question: I was told by 3 or 4 different people that I am a healer. I help heal other people. I'm just not sure how I do it. I do like to say prayers to ask Creator, angels and helpers to help someone to heal. I thought my prayers were answered when a relative and a friend, both with terminal cancer, were cured and the cancer disappeared. One lady said it wasn't the prayers that helped the 2 with cancer, it was my intention that caused the healing. I used my thoughts, I guess, and intended for them to heal, and they healed. I had thought Creator cured them of their cancer and they were miracles. I never could figure out how I was a healer of others. So, I'm asking, could the lady be right when she said people heal because I intend for them to heal? If it's yes, would everyone be able to do this? Is it a combination of my prayers and intentions? If not, then how do I heal others? I ask because this is a dream come true. I've been wanting to help others heal for many decades. Another note. A few years ago I read in a book that Jesus' sister was able to heal people using a few sentences calling for the goddess of beauty. I used the technique on my friend whose cancer was cured. Did this technique help my friend in healing her cancer? Also, I'd like to mention that I understand that people have life plans, and if someone is destined to die of a disease or accident or at a certain time in their life, prayers and intentions aren't going to help them stay alive longer than what their destiny and life plan has planned for them. Intentional healing isn't going to work every time. But, to be honest, if I can help people heal, I'd start right now. I just need to know exactly how, prayers, intentions, or perhaps the words Jesus' sister uses. Thank you for any insight or knowledge you can give me regarding this.
Answer: I appreciate your question. It is great that you are stepping up and want to heal other people. Earthlings are certainly going to need and appreciate your skills in the future. Yes, you are already a healer. Yes, you have already healed people, including your friend whose cancer was cured. And yes, if you want to, you can start working as a healer right now. You are a clear channel and the divine feminine is able to work through you, which is a part of the Creator. Therefore people are healed. This is a very special gift, and also a very needed one because earthlings desperately need the divine feminine. Yes, technically anyone can do what you do, but in practice 99% of people have certain blocks or limiting beliefs or trauma that would prevent them from being a clear channel for the divine feminine. Those blocks can be removed, but that is not necessarily an easy or quick process. There are many healing modalities. If you want to become a doctor in the conventional Earth way, then it is required that you put information into your brain for many years. However, when we are talking about the healing methodology that you are talented in and that you have used, then the most important trait is emptiness. This is a healing methodology that uses your heart, not your mind, and it requires you to be a clear channel. The less your mind gets in the way and the more that you follow your intuition and your love, the more effective you will be able to heal people. It is ultimately the divine feminine that does the healing. What is needed on your end is to call in the divine feminine, for example via your prayers, as well as be a clear channel for her. Therefore my advice to you is, just keep doing exactly what you have been doing. Do what comes naturally to you, without trying to consciously understand it. Going too much into your mind and seeking to rationally understand this, may make you a less clear channel and the divine feminine will be less able to work through you. So just keep doing what you are doing. You are already doing great. And yes, you are already healing people. Also note that it is possible to say prayers for more people than one at a time, whether for people who are terribly ill or for people who are not. Plus you may be able to use the energy of the divine feminine for other purposes than healing. That said, I would only start experimenting with these last two things once it feels right to do so. Your strength in this area is that you're letting your love and your inner wisdom guide you, not your rational mind, and your inner wisdom can tell you if and when it might become appropriate to start saying prayers for more than one person or to start using the energy of the divine feminine for other purposes. So that is my practical advice. Now that we're discussing this topic, I would also like to unpack a bit further why emptiness is so important. This is partly for your benefit and partly for the benefit of other people who are receiving this message. If you want to know what something sounds like, then you would use your ears, right? Everyone would think that it was weird if you would try to use your rational mind instead of your ears to determine what something sounds like. Well, similarly, when it comes to spirituality or healing, it is best to either rely on Source, or to rely on a trusted aspect of Source such as the divine feminine, or to rely on your own soul. Trying to use your rational mind in the area of spirituality is like trying to use your rational mind in the area of trying to decide what something sounds like. Your soul is a part of you, just as much as your ears are a part of you. When it comes to spirituality or decision making, it is best to rely on it, just as you rely on your ears when it comes to hearing. Or alternatively, you can rely on Source of a trusted aspect of Source such as the divine feminine. If you want to hear clearly, then you do that by getting rid of preconceived notions and emptying your mind and fully relying on what your ears tell you. Similarly, if you want to engage in spirituality or heal someone, then you do that by getting rid of preconceived notions and emptying your mind and fully relying on what either your soul tells you, or what Source or an aspect of Source tells you. Either you might hear a voice directly, or you might feel an intuition or an urge to do something. I have talked more about this in the message, Hakann, how do I know what is true? The best thing you can do in the area of spirituality is to just empty yourself and to follow either your soul or Source or an aspect of Source, as well as you can. Sometimes this has been described as humility by previous spiritual masters on Earth. I hope this helps. Thank you for your service. I hope you appreciate the rare gift and ability you have, of having the divine feminine easily work through you. I am glad that you are already actively sharing this gift with the world, and I hope that you will continue to do so.
Question: is the Earth sphere or flat?
Answer: The Earth is a sphere. There are sentient beings living in your Earth, whom you will one day meet. But no, the Earth is not flat. I do not mean to attack you, but we have told you that we have come from another planet and that we are currently in a spaceship, orbiting Earth. I do not see how that would fit into the flat Earth model. That said, an unbelievable amount of things that you have been told are lies. So I am happy that you are questioning what is true and what is false. And I guess I cannot blame people for being confused when so many different people and sources are lying to them. And any time someone asks a question, there are probably dozens or hundreds of people who are curious about the same thing. So thank you for your question and for giving me the opportunity to address this.
Question: Is it possible for the people of the world to gather items that we can use in trade for ET services? The services I would ask the ETs for would be to remove all the toxins, poisons, trash, plastics, medicines, heavy metals, etc. from our soil, water and air. It scares me knowing there are all these poisonous items making us sick. I feel there is nowhere to go to be safe. We can give the ETs whatever items they would prefer. There are different types of food, drinks, clothing, art pieces, musical instruments, jewelry, precious metals, regular metals, precious gems, semi-precious gems / crystals / stones, antiques, fossils, and lots of stuff I haven't thought of. We are good at solving problems. Perhaps they can use our abilities in those areas. I would love to see our planet cleaned up for all the younger people now and in the future to live a clean and healthy life.
We think this is a touching question and we are moved. Thank you for your kindness. And yes, your desire is beautiful to have your planet cleaned up so that the young people can live a healthy life. When we land, we will share our services and technology with you freely, at a pace that is constructive rather than destructive. So for example, we probably will not share our most destructive weapons with you on day one. But other than this, we will share our services and technology freely. This includes removing toxins, although whenever possible we would prefer to teach Earthlings how to do it, rather than do it ourselves. After all, we prefer teaching you to fish rather than just giving you a fish. We wish to empower you. I understand that the toxin situation is scary. That said, light workers such as yourself are monitored and very well protected. We are also subtly removing toxins already. Also, don't underestimate how amazing your bodies are. But yes, there will come a great toxin cleanup and we will help with that. We will share our services with you freely because we are all one, and we are all children of Source. On the most fundamental level, there is no difference between you and us. Helping you is the same as helping ourselves, because we are all one. Should you wish to also give us gifts or services, then we will happily accept those. If you do not wish to give us gifts or services, that is fine too. We will still help you in this case. We would absolutely love to experience your foods, your drinks, your music, your dance and other expressions of your culture. Certain materials and minerals would be moderately useful to us, but we want to focus first on making sure that you are okay. We are doing fine already and we don't really need anything. As I explained in a previous message, Earthlings are the most psychically powerful race in the universe. Plus you have significant experience with the light and dark, which makes you even more potentially powerful. What would help us out tremendously is if Earthlings built a peaceful society, lived in harmony, healed their wounds and started developing their powers. Then one day, maybe we could help establish peace in the galaxy, side by side, as brothers and sisters. If you want, of course, your free will is always respected. But we realize that this point will probably be hundreds of years away. Initially we are fully expecting to just help you and connect with you without getting much in return. But we are so abundant that we genuinely enjoy giving, even if nothing is ever given in return. Just the act of giving, in and of itself, is joyful to us. We have also freely offered our technology and services to other races who were good-hearted but less potentially useful than Earthlings. Thank you again for your kindness. This was another batch of questions done. The channeler is currently answering questions from late August, simply because he has received so very many and there is only so much energy that he has available. Thank you for your questions and for your patience. I love you very much. Your star brother, Hakann.